it's a time of light and remembering hope. We don't need light when it's bright out, and we don't need to remember hope when everything is going according to the plan. I'm, ex- I'm exploring for when this candle is lit. So we're tuning back into the Babylonian exile. These chapters were written in a time of mourning the loss of autonomy, their homeland, human life. I can't imagine everyone survived the journey from Palestine to Iraq. The best I can tell, the best we can tell, we being the experts, not me. The Babylonian exile is a time when the Jewish oral tradition was first turned into text. So not all of it was written, and we don't really have canonized rules for what texts, or for how the text operated. This is a time of challenge, and let's be real, a time of violation that brings up a lot of questions. Who is God? What is God good for? How can we worship God in a strange land? What is the God of a humiliated people? These are haunting questions. So we know God is the um, we know God is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We know God is the God of our people, our tribe. We know God cares for us, and we know God is specific about how we are to honor him. We know many stories from Judges, but at this time, they were not compiled into one book. We've heard these stories of God choosing a hero and liberating our ancestors. When they fixed their hearts or their allegiance or their sacrifices, God would show up. God would empower judges to heroically save the day. And when a guy couldn't get the job done, God would show up as rain or a windstorm or an earthquake, a pillar of fire, things you cannot miss. We've been here for a while, and the pattern seems to be broken. There were some acolytes taken by the king a while ago, 2 weeks ago, for paying attention to the sermon. And when the king tried to execute them, God seemed to have shown up, but like as a guy. And that's a far cry from an earthquake. If my people were, sorry, there are many guys in this room and no earthquakes. And if my people were begging to be released, I would send an earthquake, not a guy. The pattern is broken, and the most obvious question to ask is, what part of the pattern is broken? What are we doing wrong that we're still here? Are we wrong about God? Is he still the God of us? Are we abandoned? Maybe God is concerned but powerless now? Does God's deliverance have an effective radius and we're too far from the promised land? Did my grandfather even remember the stories right to begin with? So hearing Isaiah 55, it's delivered to the Israelites in a time when they didn't have much evidence for hope, but it's exceedingly hopeful and generous. The prophet is shouting, "Come, all who are thirsty, come to the waters, and you have no money, come, buy and eat. Come, buy wine and milk without money and without cost." Without money and without cost. That's quite the offer. Why spend money on what is not bread, and your labor on what does not satisfy? Listen to me, and eat what is good, and you will delight in the richest fare. Why do you labor for what does not satisfy? Feels kind of obvious, and now I'm getting angry. Because we have to. Because we have to labor for the powers that be. We're exiles. Well, they, but that's also true for us. It's true for me. I have to labor for what doesn't satisfy because I have rent and student loans. I'm not choosing to spend my time on what doesn't satisfy because I want to, but because it's simply the way it is. This is simply the reality the powerful have created. So the answer to the question is already something that's ticking me off, prophet. Where are we going with this? I will make an everlasting covenant with you, my faithful love promised to David. See, I have made him a witness to the peoples, a ruler and a commander of the peoples. Surely you will summon the nations you know not, and the nations you do not know will come running to you, because of the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, for he has endowed you with splendor. So God reaffirms this covenant, a covenant made with David for the splendor of our people. Buy without cost a covenant that the nations will seek us out because of our splendor. Don't offer me food while you shout empty-handed. And why are you talking about splendor when we don't even have a leader? We don't have a judge. Adonai isn't whipping up any rainstorms. I'm so mad, and I can see clearly how wrong this is. And the only way out would have to be miraculous. The only way out would have to be something amazing. But the dude's still shouting. Seek the Lord while he may be found, and call on him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake their ways, and the unrighteous their thoughts. Let them turn to the Lord, and he will have mercy on them, and to our God, for he will freely pardon. Seek while he may be found. Whoop-de-doo, this offer is a limited time offer. And at this point, each word you say makes me less sure I know what's going on. And as if on cue, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways, declared the Lord. Yes, I know. The gods are strange and mysterious. They're not like us. But would they care for us better if they were? If Adonai suffered with us, would he let this go on? I feel caught in a cosmic story, caught in machinery that is powerful and mysterious, that I can't combat and never fully comprehend. I'm stuck with two options. I can surrender to the defeat from Babylon, or surrender to the mystery of Adonai. I'm not strong enough to fight Babylon, and I'm not cosmic-minded enough to comprehend where Adonai is going with this. Either way, I can't overcome. I could work myself crazy trying to understand, or I could get myself crushed trying to resist. The only way I survive is some form of surrender. And maybe that's not a bad thing. Surrendering to the mystery, not surrendering to the evil state. If I surrender to the mystery, all of the things I don't know stop being weights shackling me and become rushing waters. Still dangerous, but with mercy, practice, and serenity, they can be survived and almost navigated. Letting mystery simmer can give me a place to drop my anger and pain and grief, and after they've been cooked, they don't taste as bad. The prophet isn't done. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. And if I surrender to the mystery, it's kind of hopeful. Maybe there's a bigger thought at play. Lord knows I can't see it. As the rain and the snow come down from heaven and do not return to it without watering the earth and making it bud and flourish, so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater, so is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. Finally, a storm. Well, no, it's just rain. I want waters that take the breath of my oppressor and their chariots. I want a flood. And this isn't that. This is just rain for God's purpose, a purpose so alien I can't comprehend it. I don't know God's purpose, and I don't know when the rain is coming. But I do know the rain comes and goes for reasons beyond my comprehension. I live at the mercy of that fact. Life has always been at the mercy of mysteries. I know that much. But I don't like it. And not liking it has never helped me change that fact. And not liking it has never helped me receive the rain on its mysterious timing. You shall go out with joy and be led forth in peace. The mountains and the hills will burst into song before you, and all the fields and the trees will clap your hands. Thank you. Instead of the thorn bush will grow the juniper, instead of the briars, the myrtle will grow. This will be for the Lord's renown and everlasting sight that will endure forever. That sounds marvelous. There will need to be a lot of transformation before our homeland is a place of joy again. And I think maybe I might need a lot of transformation before I'm ready to make my homeland a place of joy again. But whether it happens or not, it's only possible if I stay open to transformation. It's only possible if I stay ready to be amazed.